Hi. In today's video, I mainly want to play for you 3 different period keyboard instruments, including a harpsichord popular during the Baroque period, the forte piano from the classical period, and then the modern piano. I've also selected 3 corresponding sonatas as demonstrations. Before I start, I first want to briefly introduce what a sonata is. I believe many of you are familiar with this term. When it comes to sonatas, the first names that might come to mind are Mozart, Beethoven, or Haydn. That's right, during their era, which is the classical period. The sonata reached its most mature stage. It also became one of the most popular musical forms of that time. In fact, the sonata has a long history. First, the English word sonata comes from the Italian word sonali, which means to make sound. Starting from the Baroque period, the definition of a sonata was any music played by instruments. In other words, anything sung by people was not considered a sonata. As long as it was played by instruments, it could be called a sonata. It can be a solo or a collaboration. Yes, it can be a single movement or multiple movements. Composers who wrote sonatas during this era included Handel, Bach, Scarlatti, and others. Next, I will perform 3 sonatas from different eras for you. Let's start with the one from the Baroque period. By the classical period, the sonata had developed to a very mature stage and became a very mainstream musical form. At the time, the standards for it became more defined, typically requiring multiple movements, usually 3 to 4. There were also tempo requirements, with the first movement being relatively fast. The second movement is slow, and the final movement needs to return to an allegro. Structurally, the sonata form emerged. Those who study music know that the sonata form includes 3 elements. The city's undeveloped department is online, and in the certification bureau it will appear in the first movement. The main representative composers of this period are Haydn, Mozart, Beethoven, and a little before them, Bach's 2 sons. They also wrote a lot of solo sonatas and laid a very good foundation for the development of the sonata. Solid base. Then moving into the Romantic period, this era saw the advent of our modern piano, because the sound of this instrument became